June 5th, Wednesday, June 5th, 3 p.m. Call the Police Accountability Board for Kent County to order. I want to remind all board members that all matters are considered in strict confidence. No talk about complaints or respondents or anything about the case until it's resolved. Moving on, I'd like to make a motion. Somebody make a motion to accept the. Oh, I'm sorry. First of all, did everybody read the minutes from last month? I need a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion to accept.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, we're going to go into old business here. Did anybody need a copy of the confidentiality agreement that we signed?
They've all been signed. Very.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anybody want their copy of it from what they signed for?
Did we get a copy, an electronic copy? We all got I got an electronic copy.
Yeah, you should have gotten one when I sent it out and, right.
Anybody not sign one? Everybody get it, get one signed?
I've got everybody's.
Okay. So in our last meeting, we had made a motion and it passed that we were going to elect a co-chair. We need to change the wording on that motion, so I'm going to make a new motion. Well, I'm going to make a new motion that, can I make a motion? I'm going to need somebody to make a motion that we change the wording from co-chair to deputy chair of the PAB.
I make a motion that we change the wording from co-chair to deputy chair.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Also, under old business, I'm going to defer to a later discussion, under open discussion with the sheriffs and the sheriff and the chiefs about the some outreach stuff. We discussed it in our last meeting. I'll save that for later. Moving on to new business, everybody should have received their generic business cards.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions about these? Everybody's been notified on the board that we've received 2 more complaints. Just make sure we're all aware. Everybody get that notification?
No, I got the one.
I only got 1.
I got one.
I think that was my fault because I was struggling to get the current email. That was my fault.
Well,
So
it could have been mine too, because I hadn't touched anything for 3 weeks. Yeah.
I thought I did send it, but.
Yeah, I didn't see it on mine.
Okay, but we did get a second. And it's just same standard form letter that's
Okay.
sent out the first time. I want to move into open discussion. We're going to start with the sheriff and the 2 police chiefs. Sheriff? Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Barry. I think, I guess part of our discussions are talking about, how to improve in policing, in the county. I do know that we had Miss Horsey ride along with us recently, and I think she actually enjoyed her ride along. We actually had a little bit of excitement, got a arrest out of it, or at least a criminal citation was issued. So a little bit more than just handling alarm calls and different calls for service. She rode with one of our canines that we have and got to see her work. And so I think she enjoyed it. She wrote a letter and saying that, it was a good experience for her. And I think now we've had, Miss Grammer, you went on a ride along. Ms. Horsey, you went on a ride along. And Mr. Jones, you went on a ride along, correct? Okay. So I would, certainly encourage, to do that. I think it's important to, certainly at times you get a chance to maybe see some body cam footage that goes out and everything else, but it's certainly good sometimes to be able to have that interaction with the officers to know, how things are going. Overall in the community, I think you'd said something about community engagements, but I mean, I know myself with the sheriff's office and the two police agencies in the county, gosh, I mean, we just went through, Tea Party, and soon we're going to be having the 4th of July, and I mean, we're stretched thin and we're out there everywhere, and so, we consider ourselves the community as well, so we are certainly out there doing a lot of different engagements, not specifically, any type of, affiliation with the PAB or ACC or anything of that nature, but just as a sheriff's office and police agencies. So we're doing quite a bit of that. And I'll also share a little bit more information when we go to that part, when you bring the engagement parts up as well. I think overall, Kent County's sort of one of those places that, it trickles down, so, but it's reached us, and we're, like you said, we have 3 complaints at this point, and it's only going to probably become more. I will say that, maybe I have a sort of a biased opinion, but when I'm looking at these things, my people are just doing their job. And, they certainly have a right to have the complaint. But, overall, I'm very happy with what my people are doing, everything that I see that those guys are doing, and, they're doing their job, and they're trying to make sure they're being effective in doing their job in the community. So, and they're also very cognizant of the processes. They don't want to be part of this. They don't want to have a complaint on them or something like that. But, as we realize, it's now trickled down to us, and it's inevitable. So there's going to be actors out there that are going to put these things in there, and that's obviously their right. But we trust the process, and it'll play out the way it plays out. So I certainly appreciate the opportunity of being here, and this is, to me, this is engaging. I mean, you guys are the community. I mean, looking at the faces that are here, and that certainly helps us to be able to have more voices out there. Because, I mean, you have a little bit more of a straight line of, what we're doing and what we are part of. And now you can hopefully advocate out there for us to say, hey, you know what, the things that I've seen that are happening with our police officers in Kent County, they're trying to do a good job. They're trying to do the right things. So I appreciate you guys stepping up and being, quite honestly, you're volunteers, right? I don't think anybody's getting paid to do this. So you're volunteers, and I certainly do appreciate you doing that and stepping up to do the job. And hopefully, you can advocate for the police and realize that we're here for everybody.
Talking about local community engagement, I will tell you, at the last meeting we did, when we discussed it, there were some things suggested, like, Tea Party weekend or something. And I think everybody here on the board realized, no, that's kind of not the avenue we're looking at. We wanted it more, and I threw out the example, coffee with a cop. It's done in other places. It doesn't really affect your resources as much. I mean, it could be something as simple as 1 or 2 deputies, or a deputy and a police officer at Royal Farms. They just post a sign, hey, come have coffee with a cop, just to get the citizen engaged with them. And if, we would like the board to be a part of that in some kind of way.
Well, I wasn't sure when you wanted to bring that up, so since you did,
Yep.
I have he doesn't have the official title, but I have sort of a community engagement deputy. Who,
Good title.
yeah, he does. He does all kinds of stuff. Even escorted Miss Horsey around, but during a ride along. But he's involved in a lot of different things. So I brought along some what he's entitled. He obviously he runs it by me, and I think it's great. You want to try to do something, why not? And it says the Kent County Sheriff's Office Food Truck Friday. This is June 28th from 4 to 8 at the Sheriff's Office. There'll be food, live DJ, vehicle displays, K-9 unit, first responder, meet and greets, fire trucks. So it's just a chance for the community to, again, come out there, patronize the food trucks and meet some firemen and police and kids can climb on the vehicles and look at all these types of things. So I printed out a number of these, so maybe you can also help be an extension of us to try to push these out. I mean, I'm sure Chestertown and Rock Hall may have somebody there as well. We haven't, this is not until the 28th, but we're going to have people out there, and I think it'll be a good thing, you know, like give a chance for the community to come out there. I don't know how many people are going to come out to what most people think is the jail, they come out there to a food truck, but I mean, hey, we're going to give it a try and see what happens. So, you know, I made a couple copies of these, and certainly it's also on social media. You can pass that around. And, but yeah, certainly I'm also inviting PAB members. If you want to come out there, you want to have a table, that's fine. If you want to, if you just want to come out there and, you know, have some barbecue and talk to the community, whatever you want to do. So, that's something that, you know, certainly would ask if you have the time, come on out and get some, Kona ice and some barbecue and talk to the community. You know, I don't know how much is going to attend, but at least we're, you know, trying something, so.
Excellent.
So I'm certainly inviting you to come.
Thanks. Moving on.
Echoing what the sheriff says, it's really our busy time of the year. I'm down an officer. I'm actively recruiting, but what's coming in hasn't so far yet been suitable. It's very challenging. It's very challenging. It's our pay is not too attractive to begin with because we normally attract retirees, and it's a secondary income type thing. But it's been very difficult. With just the two of us, the sheriff's helping us out as best he can. The state police occasionally. Like last week, we had over 1,000 athletes participate in a 2-day triathlon. All safely, no incidents. We look at a major 4th of July thing, Pirates and Wenches, draws anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000 people. We're very, very busy. I share an office space. We share an office space in our elementary school, which gives us an opportunity to interact with our children every day. And it's always rewarding I take time out of my schedule to read to the children. When they're short a substitute or a teacher, I do some reading to them. We have lunch together occasionally. We're trying to show them that there's a different side of policing nowadays. And they come to my office, and I have a big display of police cars and toys. And they come in occasionally and go, "Hey man, what kind of new toys you got today?" And it's really good. We enjoy our space there, and we enjoy a chance to interact with them. We also interact on parents' nights when they're doing PTA stuff, try to be available for that. So we try our best to be out in the community, and I'm an old school guy. I still believe in foot patrol. You walk around uptown, you talk to people, you're in and out of the businesses and that type of thing. So it's a challenging profession nowadays, but you know, we appreciate the opportunity of folks like yourselves who give of your time to kind of support us. It's more of we're all trying to support each other here. In my many years of policing, there's been complaints, a lot of complaints, but they're usually, when you investigate them, they're not valid. It's not a popular business. Taking persons' freedom is not a popular thing. But it has to be done. So we entrust in you folks to see the real nuts and bolts of what we try to do. And police officers in this county, in this community, are generally all good officers. It's unfortunate that you never hear about the good things you do when you roll up to a first responder call and shock somebody with your heart machine and bring them back to life, or you squirt 4 or 5 doses of Narcan up their nose and they get up and walk away. You don't hear about those things, but you hear about, oh, he put his hands
And they
on
might
me.
be angry at you too.
That's right.
But generally, I certainly welcome and appreciate what you folks are doing.
I do want to say too, like, I don't want any of the agencies to think that we're trying to force any kind of community, anything. It's this came up, Frank might have some more insight on, he was at a conference in Annapolis, correct?
Say that again, Barry?
You were at a conference in Annapolis, you all discussed,
Yes.
it was based on PABs.
I think you have to make yourself available to the citizens you serve. And you've got to take the time to listen to people. And sometimes that time may, further down the road, if a complaint's right on the fence, somebody may say, well, maybe that really wasn't, maybe they're just doing their job. And try to do the best we can. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna, since you have a shortage, do you use any auxiliary police officers or?
We have
Yeah,
5 auxiliary officers, but they do nothing but traffic during our events. They have no police power. And that, like Ocean City and some of the summer communities that had the seasonal officers, I understand all of that's gone by the wayside under the new police reform actions. So it's very difficult to use, non-sworn individuals now. Just challenging, I've gotten 5 applications in, and 4 of those 5 have already been disqualified simply because of backgrounds. So it's tough. It's tough.
now I'm involved with training police officers across the bridge, and I guess we have some new cadets, but certainly I can tell
Put it out there, I'm looking, it's not a real healthy paycheck, but
Yeah.
we try to make up for the amount of fun we can have with summer season in lieu of pay.
Okay, and I guess all the application, all of that.
Yes, sir, it's all on the website.
Rock, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll let them know.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Moving on, Chief Dixon.
I'm not going to beat a dead horse because everything the 2 gentlemen that spoke ahead of me applies to us as well. Community policing, I had somebody ask me recently about, do you have a community policing division? And I was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, we do. How many people are in it? 9. You have 9 people in your community policing division? It's like, yeah, it's a whole department. And that is the truth. It was one of the things that I wanted to make sure was in place when I got here. You can't engage with the public if you're in your car, AC pumping, windows up, or in the office. Get out, interact. Some officers are a little more outgoing than others, a little more engaging than others, but that's our job. So, we are going to participate. Corporal Lockerman did reach out to me about the Food Truck Friday. We are going to be there with a table and get ourselves out there. Recently, we've participated in the National Drug Take Back Day at the end of April at the farmers market. Community interaction there. Had some goodies to hand out, and we took in about 28 pounds of unwanted prescription medication, which was good. We did field day at Garnett Elementary, and Garnett Elementary is a good place to connect every single day because we do that. But you're getting to see the kids, you're getting to see the parents, you get to see the guardians. It's just a good place to kind of get ourselves out. And coming up later this month, we are going to participate in the Backyard Bash that's being sponsored by the Recovery in Motion over at the Whitsitt Center. And that's an opportunity just to interact with some of the folks that have come through there and are trying to get their lives back on track. And we hand out some goodies there, and just we're there to interact with the public. I know we talked recently about the Coffee with a Cop a couple weeks ago. Definitely we're open to that. Whatever we can do, we want to make ourselves accessible to the public and show them, this is who we are. We're not hiding behind a badge or a uniform. And I will also echo the sentiments of Ms. Horsey, did a ride along with us, and you might have got a criminal citation, but she got a drunk when she was with us. You just, gotta up your game.
She needs to ride along more.
Actually, we're going to hire her. She just doesn't know it yet.
But is it true she tried to drive the car?
I will not speak on that. It may or may not be on body cam. But we really do appreciate the interaction with that, and what was already said. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I feel very comfortable with the members that are here. I know that regardless of what happens, we as police officers are going to get the absolute, most fair shake that there is. There does not seem to be any kind of, preconceived notions or biases that are going to say, well, the police are always wrong. Well, the police are wrong sometimes, but the police are many times right. And I do, appreciate the fact that we've got those body cams and we're able to share information and do the things we can do because they tell a lot of the story that maybe gets left out on one side or the other, so.
Anybody from the board have anything for the chief or the sheriff or chiefs?
I just like the fact that, that you guys feel comfortable saying what you're saying and appreciate your appreciation of what we do. And the thing about being in this county, I've always said, is that because it's so close-knit, everybody knows everyone. And sometimes, well, because of the things I do on the outside, when I see a name, I already go, okay. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not talking about law enforcement either, I'm talking about on the other side.
All right. Does anybody have anything for the board? Okay, next month's meeting would be July 3rd, would be the first Monday. Does anybody have a problem with that day?
I'm sorry, I do.
Monday?
Probably all three of you.
I'm gonna be getting ready for fireworks.
Wednesday the 3rd. What did I say?
Monday.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Feels like Monday.
Because the 4th of July
When-
is.
Yeah, so
Always get
Wednesday the 3rd.
All went together.
Yeah,
Is that a problem?
not for me right now, nope.
It is for me.
Well, Barry.
We have this room every Wednesday, correct?
Can't move to the
We
following.
can move it to the following week, is what I'm thinking of doing. It has to be the first Wednesday?
That's what's already, that's what you have it for, we'll check to make sure you can change it.
Oh, I thought, I was under the impression somebody had reserved this every Wednesday. Kept it on.
First Wednesday of every month.
Oh, first Wednesday of every month. I'm sorry. Can I do this without making a motion? I want to see about pushing the meeting to the following week, if it's available.
Do that in a motion?
Can I do it without making a motion? That's my question.
How do you ask now?
Is it in the bylaws?
That's what happens when you
The
ask.
meeting date, is it in the bylaws?
No.
No, it's not in the bylaws. I would think you could do it, though.
You know, I'm sure everybody's got things going on July 3rd. It's really going to crimp things.
Val, how quick could we find out if we have this? If we could get this room for the following week?
I will need to speak to the office tomorrow.
So we would have, what's that?
What date?
July the 10th. July the 10th.
July the 10th. Because I can just send that to everybody.
On the 3rd, if you don't have a quorum of your members, you can't have a meeting anyway.
Right.
But we can't cancel it ahead of time, based on
Well, if we know we're not going to have a quorum,
right. That's
if we
when-
know that, why would you make just a few people come in?
Yeah, and one suggestion that I would make is when Valerie sends the reminder for the meeting, if everyone who knows what their situation is responds, and then we will know if it appears that there's gonna be a quorum or not, and then she can send out.
I thought maybe for public record, because it's a public meeting, we could just schedule it for the 10th and skip all this nonsense. I don't know what the big deal is.
Barry, is that the law enforcement required meeting, or is that just the PAB meeting?
Just PAB.
Yeah, okay, so, good.
Yeah, the next law enforcement will be 3 months.
Yep, okay.
Beautiful.
You're fine.
It should be September.
Wedges and everything.
She'll check tomorrow. and send
We're
you-
doing this.
Yeah.
I would like to see somebody make a motion to have the meeting on July.
The motion that I was going to make was that, take a vote of approval to have the meeting on the 10th if it is available. So-
Second? Nancy seconds it. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Here we go. Okay. Anything else for good of the order? Okay, call the meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming. We're gonna go into, the ACC portion. Did you want to stick around?